If you've selected limited tort insurance on your automobile insurance policy and you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, one of the first questions you're going to have is, what does my limited tort status mean for my personal injury claim? Well, under Pennsylvania law, if you're limited tort, that means you've given up the right to sue or make a claim for pain and suffering, absent specific circumstances. One way to get out of that limited tort status is if you're not in a private passenger vehicle. That means if you're in a bus, if you're on a motorcycle, if you're in a rental vehicle or a commercial vehicle like a commercial truck, the limited tort status is not going to apply to you. Also, the limited tort status would not apply if the person that's at fault for the accident is convicted of a DUI or pleads through the ARD program, which is similar to the DUI. Also, you can get out of the limited tort status if the person that was at fault for the accident has a vehicle that's registered outside the state of Pennsylvania. So that means not the driver is a resident of a state outside of Pennsylvania, but actually the vehicle, whether that vehicle is registered in Pennsylvania or not. So that vehicle is registered outside of Pennsylvania, then your limited tort status would not apply. Also, if the reason for the accident, if the cause of the accident is from a product defect, meaning if there was something wrong with the vehicle itself that caused the accident, you're not going to be held to that limited tort status and you can sue for pain and suffering. Another exception to limited tort is when the person that's at fault didn't have their own insurance. So they haven't maintained what's called financial responsibility under Pennsylvania law. They don't have insurance, you selected limited tort, but if they don't have insurance, you can get out of that limited tort status and sue for pain and suffering. Unfortunately, in those circumstances, sometimes that restricts your ability to recover anything because the person against whom you're making a claim actually doesn't have insurance. So that creates other complications there. But you do get out of your limited tort status. And finally, one of the biggest exceptions to limited tort status is when you have a serious bodily injury. In Pennsylvania law, there's so many cases that explain what is a serious bodily injury. What does that mean? Pennsylvania law says that serious bodily injury means a substantial impairment of bodily function. You have an injury that affects your ability to go about your day-to-day activities, something that affects the way you walk, the way you get out of your bed, the way you get dishes out of the cabinet, all those types of things. An injury that's actually affecting how you go about your day-to-day. If you fall within any of these exceptions that we talked about, you're able to get out of this limited tort status and make a claim for pain and suffering regardless of that limited tort selection. If you have any questions about whether you're full tort or limited tort or how that affects your claim, please give us a call. We'd be happy to talk with you through any of these exceptions and potentially many more under Pennsylvania law.
Call Marcus and Mac on the Hurt Line right now.